Hello and welcome back to Tales of Lumin. Today we are talking about TV series again. I said before that I was going to mention a couple more that I've been watching and enjoying. Hear what you guys think about them, if you perhaps watch them yourselves. Maybe you haven't heard of them, maybe you find something new that you could potentially end up watching religiously in this video. We'll see. Now I'm going to talk about 3 of them today, and I'll probably do another video at some point in the not too distant future talking about a couple more. But the first one I want to talk about is Longmire. Longmire has actually been going on for 3 seasons. I think it's nearing the end of its 3rd season now. But I only started watching it about 2 weeks ago from the 1st season. I don't know what got me onto that. I think that I saw Katie Sackhoff, who's Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica, tweeting about it a couple of times. And then I was like, maybe. And then finally I just saw a couple of photos from the set, and that just drew me to it. If I'm not mistaken, that's how I got into it. Then I did a bit of research and I picked up the 1st season, and I've been loving it. But what this is about is, it's about a dude called Walt Longmire, who is a sheriff in a fictional county called Absaroka County in the US, in Wyoming specifically. But the series is really cool because it's a nice mix between what you'd expect from a western with a proper sheriff back in the old Wild West, and then a modern crime series where they have a crime that they solve every episode. Sometimes the crimes, carry on for 2 or 3 episodes. That happens in most series. Kind of like The Mentalist, Same kind of thing, but a much different setting. I like it. I really like it. Now, Walt Longmire himself is a really laid-back kind of guy. Very old-fashioned. Doesn't carry a cell phone. He has, all these morals and virtues. It's just really cool, actually. He's like a real old-fashioned cowboy type of sheriff, and I like that about him. Then there's also Starbuck in it. Her name in the series is Vic, and she's like a hot-headed, I don't know, more new age kind of gal from Philadelphia or something. She worked murder there. Can't remember why she ended up in Wyoming, but whatever. She's there. Then there's the one deputy who's running against Walt Longmire for sheriff, who's kind of annoying in this 1st season. I imagine he's going to become slightly more interesting or whatever. Then there's another deputy who's just, I don't know, kind of nothing. Then there's the Indian best friend who's called something Standing Bear. He's kind of cool. He's always got a lot of wisdom to share with Walt Longmire. But the series itself is just great for anyone who likes westerns and anyone who likes these crime drama type shows. A lot of action as well, obviously, but it's different. It's not like The Mentalist. It's for the most part not really far-fetched either. And I at first thought to myself, this Longmire dude, I don't know if I'd be able to watch him just because of how he looks or how he acts or whatever, but he grows on you really quickly, and the other characters in the show are also really interesting. Now, every episode they do have a mini plot, but then there's a big plot that keeps going on throughout the season. I've not watched the entire 1st season yet, so don't spoil anything for me about it. But so far, there's something going on with Walt Longmire's past that they're kind of hinting at here and there. We don't know what it is yet. His wife died recently. His daughter's, worried about him because he is not coping quite as well as everyone hoped he would. Don't know why they hoped he'd cope well if his wife died, but whatever. There's a big backstory going on, and at the same time, there's also this re-election of the sheriff in their town that they're in. So the deputy, whose name is Branch Connolly, is running against Walt Longmire for sheriff. There's a lot of friction between those two there as well. So Walt keeps sending him on silly little errands and tasks. It's great. It's great. But Longmire, really cool. Love the Western feel. Really laid back, kind of chilled type series in many ways. Obviously, a very adult series as well. Just because some of the crimes and stuff they have happen in there are grisly. I can't believe I just said that. There was actually an episode that I watched 2 days ago where a grizzly bear attacked someone. I did it. I went there. So, let's move on. That's really good. I'm loving Longmire. So good. So good. But we're moving on. Next is The Last Ship. Now, The Last Ship. Wow. Okay. I think Michael Bay works on it, so he's doing like the special effects and stuff on the series. Or maybe he's just paying for it. I don't know. Whatever, but it does feel like he influences it somehow just because of how it works. Now, The Last Ship is about a Navy vessel called the USS Nathan James and its crew. The reason I got into this was because Mark Sloan from Grey's Anatomy was in there. And then I somehow saw that he was in there, saw this series popping up, and I was like, well, I liked Mark Sloan in Grey's Anatomy, one of the few characters that I really did like, so why don't I check it out? It's a very different kind of role for him. Then, when I checked it out, I saw, and this was the cherry on top, Adam Baldwin. Adam Baldwin. One does not simply say no to Adam Baldwin. If you watch Firefly, know what I'm talking about. Okay, you will. He's in there too. Big role. He is the ship's XO, if I'm not mistaken. But what this is about is, it's about the last ship. It's not technically the last ship, but if I'm not mistaken, the book was called that. I don't know. But it's about this ship, this Navy vessel that went on a mission up to the Arctic for like 6 months. Then they had to, because of the sensitive nature of what they were doing there. Now the ship's captain, who is Tom Chandler, Mark Sloan, the guy from Grey's Anatomy, he didn't quite know why they were there. He said it was like a training mission, this and that. That's what he was told by his superiors, but they were actually there for this scientist lady. And the reason she was there was because just before they left, there was this virus plague type thing that appeared in the world. It's supposed to be a bit of a mystery, and it started killing people. A couple of confirmed cases when they left. But then they had radio silence for 6 months. Then when they finally broke radio silence because they got attacked by Russians on their big naval warship, they heard that something silly like 80 or 90% of the world's population had been wiped out by this virus. And then coincidentally, this lady, who is Dr. Scott, she was working on finding a vaccine, a cure for the virus. Now, the series is very lame. It's like real cheesy action type stuff. Well, I wouldn't say cheesy. It looks like they're trying to be serious with it, but you don't watch it, you don't go into it expecting too much, or at least you shouldn't go in expecting too much really serious storytelling, big plot twists, nothing like that. You watch it because it's just fun. It is just kind of fun to see these people struggling against everything they're struggling against, because a lot of things happen. You know, everyone out there could potentially be infected. They're obviously safe because they're on this ship in the middle of the ocean. And if they had to go just, you know, dock somewhere at a port, they'd probably all get and just jump off the ship, they'll probably just all get infected because it's airborne. They get close to people, they pick it up, so they all have to wear these big suits whenever they go out onto the ground or do something. So the first couple of episodes that I watched, I think there are 8 or 9 of them out now, they are just about the kind of struggles that they have because of this virus. Things like running out of fuel, food and water. They have to go and look for places to resupply safely, fighting against the other people out there. And there's a lot that the series has going for it in terms of, I guess, shock value, as well as just the realism, because it's a possibility this kind of thing could actually happen. Who knows, maybe that is what they think, and they made this now because what they think is going to happen with Ebola. I don't know. Okay, I shouldn't laugh about it. I shouldn't. It's a serious matter, but because something like this could actually happen, it's more fascinating to watch, but also kind of scary to watch. And there's big stuff. Like people launching nukes at other people, and you see this happening in the show. The Russians just launching a nuke at France to prove a point to the guys on the USS Nathan James to push them away from the shore. They're like, hey, you can't dock there. We'll launch a nuke. Blow whatever's up over there. Pff, no problem. Anyway, it's been pretty entertaining thus far, but again, it's not too serious. It's something that you'll watch for a bit of fun on the side. I do think some of the actors and actresses in there are okay. Some others, not so great. The story, the plot, and all that, I can't say much about it yet. It's mostly just been about them going back and forth, trying to get this vaccine, I guess, up and running, working. But it's stressful to watch sometimes because they get themselves in pickles quite often. I don't know what else to say about it, okay? I just don't. I kind of enjoy it, but of the three that I'm talking about in this video, it is probably my least favorite because of the reasons that I mentioned. Because it's not quite as serious in terms of plot. It's not, let's just say, the kind of thing I usually like and enjoy, but it has been okay. It has been. So check that out if it's your kind of thing. Lots of special effects. You know, I read somewhere that someone said it's like an advert for the US Navy to get people to enlist because they look super badass in there. They really do. With all their little maneuvers, shooting things out of the water from like miles and miles away with their big ship cannons. It's not bad. But we're going to move on to the last series that I want to talk about, Dominion. Now, Dominion is based on a movie that was called Legion or something. I don't know, but it's a post-apocalyptic, supernatural show. Angels and demons, that type of thing. Not so much demons, more actually just angels in this show. What happened, and this is like the grand scheme of things, is God disappears, and then his children, well, they get angry. Gabriel, who is one of the archangels, there are three of them that we've seen thus far. Gabriel, Michael, and Uriel. And Gabriel, he blames the humans for it. God's favorite creation. Okay? And then he wages war on them on Earth. And we're talking real angels. They got wings and everything. Black wings, however. So, Gabriel is waging war on the humans. Most of the world is dead. There are a couple of stronghold cities left. The one that this show is based in is former Las Vegas, now called Vega. And people are just surviving. You know, the world out there, beyond the walls, is a wasteland. Or at least as far as we know now. It's a wasteland. And it's not really inhabitable because of the lesser angels called 8-balls that are just savage beasts. Attack and kill things on sight. By things, I mean anything. But the show itself focuses on a security guard, military type dude in Vega who is revealed to be the chosen one. His name is Alex Lannon. And Michael sided with the humans, and he did so. They revealed very early on, like in the very first episode, he sided with the humans to watch over and protect the chosen one. There's a lot more that goes into this. Like, there's a big story going on that I don't want to spoil for you guys, but I can just give you the basics like I am right now. He is the chosen one. He's going to save everyone. We don't know how. That's not been revealed yet. But he is the chosen one, and they even have their whole religion. This new reborn religion now in this new world based around him. It's crazy. And obviously, not everyone at the start knows that he is who he is. And right at the start, it's actually not even apparent that the chosen one will ever come. You know, they just believe in it because they need something to believe in. But it's kind of cool having these archangels and the lesser angels mixed up in the human politics and everything else. So Michael is sided with the humans on this side. Gabriel's on the other side. He has his army of lesser angels who he commands to do things. And then there's also this dark cult of Gabriel worshippers within the city of Vega that are blindly supporting him. It's pretty crazy. Think supernatural without the demons, with the angels, and without the Winchesters. It's very strange, okay? It's very strange, but... And strange is probably the right word, because there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in there. Also kind of adult, kind of gory, kind of graphic. I don't mind that, though. I really don't. And some of the characters in there, they kind of grow on you. Like, there are these two older guys, okay? Now, the one is the father of the love in the show, so Alex Lannon's love interest. He's there. Then there's the other old guy who is the father of the leader of the dark cult following, Gabriel, who just so happened to get... Actually, I shouldn't say more. I shouldn't. That would spoil something. But there are these two fathers of opposing houses in the city of Vega, because there's a lot going on in the city of Vega and a lot going on outside. So in the city, there's all the politics, which is obviously super interesting to see and hear about in every single episode. But outside the city, there's this greater evil lurking that not many are as aware of as they should be. But then these two leaders of the houses, they to me are probably the two best actors in the show, and they always have something interesting going on. You know, they are always just so entertaining to watch. Conniving, treacherous old men. It's great. It's great. Then there's the city of Helena, which is like an opposing city that's run by women. Mostly women there in power. Also, know very little about them, but they sound quite fierce, quite interesting. Dominion is good. Also really good. It is obviously less believable than something like The Last Ship or Longmire, but it's a lot of fun. If you like that supernatural kind of stuff, the angels, a lot of religion, a lot of action, then that's the one you should check out. But there you go. I'm done. Those are the three that I wanted to talk about. Longmire, The Last Ship, Dominion. Let me know what you think. Have you watched them? Have you been watching them? Are you, after what I've said, keen to watch them? I want to hear. But I'm done. Check back here soon for more. Give it a like, share it, and do all other stuff. Most importantly, though, happy watching and enjoying TV series. Happy that.